Okay, there it is, coming out. I'm going to have to get back in there and take that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it drain right there. So I got a nice clean pan. Going to try and show y'all what I'm doing, but there ain't a whole lot of room, so I'll just do the best I can. See, that's very loose. Ow. Okay, that's got it all the way back. Now I'll just let that completely drain. What I didn't want to do is I didn't want to take and make this to where it drained the whole thing. But in looking at this, it looks like these wheel bearings are down next to the bottom anyway. I may wind up draining all this. I didn't want to do that, but I can put part of it back. This has only got about 150 hours on it, so it's got another 150 to 200 hours worth of run time to go. So I'll let this drain out, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll take both of them out because both of them are leaking, and then I'll show you what we do and when this is quit running. Okay, now that it's quit while it's draining, I want to tell you what I plan to do. Now, is this the best option? It's probably not. Those those seals on the rear axles of that tractor are about $70 a piece. I could definitely afford them. Okay? I could afford new seals. And that would be the best option. But the new seals, you can't just take the tire off and put the seal in, because there's like a cone-shaped part that's there on the tire that's permanently affixed to that axle. So in other words, in order to do that, I have to take the whole transmission apart, the whole rear end of that tractor apart, take the axle out, put that one little seal in, that one little $70 seal, and then put everything back together with gaskets and all that for the rest of the seals around the bottom of the tractor. Here's a picture so you can see. You'll notice in the picture that it's all one unit. So when you take it apart, you have to take the whole transmission of the tractor apart, and I may be too old to do that. Now what I plan to do is I plan to pull that out and put Forma gasket on by Permatex. This is the non-drying stuff, the number 2. It dries, but it stays rubbery, it stays flexible. The reason for that is that's on an axle that's always moving, and I want it to be flexible. Somebody said you could put JB weld on it, but what happens if that fails? What have you got to do to get that JB weld out of there? Okay, that could probably be a nightmare. So I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. So I'm going to use Forma gasket. Now I've used this on freeze out plugs and a whole bunch of different places, and it does really, really good. I've had good success with it in holding in. And one thing it'll do is it will stick to that metal ring of the seal, and it will stick to it and hold it in like glue. Okay, not like glue, but like glue. I know that sounds funny, but that's what it'll do. So without having to take the transmission apart, if this will give me 2 or 3 years with the tractor, all the better. If it gives me a year, that'll be okay too. Okay? Because my grass is knee high today. The grass here on the homestead. And I need to cut that stuff. So, yeah, I've got to get this fixed. So this is like I said, form a gasket. It's the number 2 one. Number 1 forms hard. This one forms soft. It stays soft. And it's slow to dry, so you got time to work with it. And old fingers don't work as good. Now, on the one side that was kept coming out, yeah, I need to do that. But it's been leaking on the other side too, just a little bit. Well, that means the other side's getting ready to fail. So when I get it drained, while I'm doing one, I'm going to do both. Might be a mistake. I don't know. But I'm going to do both. So tomorrow, maybe I can get out and mow. So, yeah, just come along for the ride. Make sure I get it all good and dry and clean. Ow. Okay. Now, little red light on. There we go. Now let's put this back in. Press it in. And that's all. Now it's got to sit for 24 hours. Okay, let's do the other side. Well, this one is not loose. Oh. Well, it's not loose. So I think I'll leave it. I don't think I'll mess with it. It's in there good and tight. I can't push it out with a screwdriver, so Okay, folks, I've got it all done. It's glued in with this former gasket. Now, what I'll have to do is I'll have to wait for 24 hours for this to set. In 45 minutes, it should be tacky, but I need it to cure. So I'm going to wait for 24 hours, and this will set, and hopefully it'll hold that in. Could I have messed up? Yeah, I might have messed up here. I went to do the one on the other side, and it wouldn't come out. So about, I don't know, I guess about a month ago, I put that one back in, just pushed it in like I did this one, and it's not moved. So hopefully it won't come out. But if it comes out, it'll get drained again and do the same treatment. Now, I was not ready to change hydraulic fluid. I've got another 250 hours before that hydraulic fluid is due to be changed. But enough hydraulic fluid to do this tractor costs $158. So, what did I do? I drained it into a nice clean pan. Then I put it into an empty container. That way, I can reuse this hydraulic fluid. I've probably lost some, okay? But that's okay. I can just fill up with new for that amount that I lost. And then in 250 hours, I'll drain and change the whole thing. As a matter of fact, I did a video on that. If you want to see how to drain the hydraulic fluid out of this Mahindra Emax gear tractor, I did a video on changing the hydraulic fluid, okay? So, it'll be time to change it in about another 250 hours. Right now, I've got 800 hours on the tractor. It's due for an oil change, so I've got to do that. So, it's 8 years old, so I'm putting about 100 hours a year on it, in case you're wondering. So, it's been about 8 years, and that's when that started leaking this winter. Okay, I'm assuming the cold weather and different things, and where it's set out in the weather, caused that to start leaking. I'm hoping this will hold me till at least the end of the year. Now, Bradley did some of the camera work on this one, my grandson. So he's gonna help me do a few things here on the homestead. So you might see him from time to time doing some things. He's getting to be a big guy. Okay, I've let this dry for 2 days, and it's solid in there. The outside here is loose, is peeled off. I just peeled the outer part, the leftover stuff off. That feels solid. I wonder how long it'll stay. It's been 2 days that I've had to let that dry. It's been a little cool, so it probably took it longer to cure. So I let it cure for 48 hours. So it looks like I am ready to put in the hydraulic fluid and give it a shot and see if it'll stay right there. So, yeah. So far, so good. I'm tickled with that. I thought it was not going to dry that first night. That first day I came out, and the sealant that had seeped out here was still wet. Okay? But this, it's been, like I said, it's been 48 hours, not 24. And it was dry. So I could peel this outer edge of it off, and it looks like it's going to hold that in. I can't put my thumbnail under it and push it out, so that's good. So now the only thing is the jack acid test. Put fluid in it and see if that's going to hold. If this doesn't hold, I'll put the red RTV sealant in it and see if that holds better. But I'm in a notion that this might just hold. So, alright, I've got grass to mow. Okay, I have just got done mowing about 2 acres of hillside with the bush hog and the rotary cutter. Bush hog's a brand name, but it's a rotary cutter. First one I ever owned we ever owned in the family. It was a bush hog brand. But anyway, we got that mowed, and it hasn't moved. There are no leaks, no drips. So, yeah, I am excited about that because I didn't want to have to go and pay maybe $1,000 to get them to take that apart. Because if I was going to do one side, I was going to do both. Okay? That's just the way that had to be. And I'm mowing some big stuff today, so, and it's doing just fine. So now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to this channel and subscribe. We do this homestead stuff every week, sometimes one, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Now, if you want to follow and see how long that holds, I show the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is, I show it on the channel. So, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for coming.